in this game, someone is getting murdered, someone is getting banished.
Every day.
And every day. And so you can't really go in thinking it's going to be like any show that I've ever played. Like, for me, it was such a totally different experience.
I'm super excited for this new show. It seems treacherous and exciting. I'm curious, Rachel, this is a little bit more up your alley, but I want to know how both of you came to join this show.
Yeah, they presented me with the show and I was like, oh my gosh, it's in a castle. It's literally in Scotland, in the Scotland Highlands. It's a murder mystery. I was like, this is literally just up my alley. This is like a Rachel Reilly show.
Yeah, and Kyle, what about you?
Well, like you said, a little more up her alley.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a little bit of a fish out of water. Not only have I never been on a competition show, I actually don't really watch much TV, believe it or not. And I've never really watched, like I thought Survivor, for example, was just strictly physical challenges. Like, no, there's a whole total social strategy. In fact, that's probably what dominates Survivor. So I went in knowing nothing. And I mean, you might think that might be advantageous because you kind of come in clean slate, you just do your thing. But I definitely kind of have my back up against the wall as opposed to like swinging from the chandelier on Summer House.
But there's just as much drama as there is on Summer House, I feel like. So you're used to that.
Yeah. It was amazing. But I mean, Peacock's part of the NBC family, so was Bravo. So I just was fortunate enough to be in the right place, right time. And it sounded amazing, and it was just, I'm like, say no more. Yeah. I'm in.
Well, I was wondering, your social game on Summer House is pretty strong. Did that translate to Traitors at all?
I mean, look, I have an easy time being myself. I'm a pretty extroverted guy, and to some extent, I had to dial it back a little because I knew if I picked up on some information or if I'm receiving a rumor, starting a rumor, you name it. Like, I needed to keep my behavior somewhat constant. I do like making people laugh. I do like being like the jokester, the prankster. So I kind of kept that going. We needed a little lightness every now and then because it was there were some serious moments.
Yes, we needed the comedic moments as well. And you were fun. It was fun. I thought it was so fun to get to know Kyle and the other Bravo celebrities because I come from such a competition background where I'm laser focused and I'm always thinking about the game and I'm always thinking about competitions and what I need to do for strategy. And in this game, someone is getting murdered, someone is getting banished.
Every day.
And so you can't really go in thinking it's going to be like any show that I've ever played. Like, for me, it was such a totally different experience. So even though I do come from the competition world, I felt like I didn't know anything to expect. I felt like a fish out of water a lot because I had no idea how to navigate through this game.
Well, you have your strategy, but you also want to try to get to know people because we're all humans and it's just like we're in this castle. You kind of want to befriend everybody cautiously.
Yes.
You don't know who you can trust. Yeah.
And there's a lot of big personalities.
Yes, there are. Well, Rachel, I was curious, this is a totally different game than Big Brother, but did anything translate across? I imagine the strategy is helpful.
The strategy is definitely helpful. And I think because I know how to prepare myself for these shows and I know what to think about going into the shows. And so I know how to train. I always make sure that I prepare myself physically and mentally. And I think going into the game, I was a little overconfident because once I got there, I literally had no idea what to expect. I literally went in. I was like, I know this is going to be a piece of cake. I'm going to win this. Yeah, literally. And then I was like, oh my gosh, there's traitors. There's, faithfuls. There's banishments and murders and treachery and, backstabbing. So you just it's really hard to navigate that.
Yeah, the best part is like every day we come together at the round table.
Yeah.
To essentially discuss and form consensus as to who's going to be, banished. And there's like always a couple minutes where no one says anything because no one wants to be the first one to speak up. It's like so awkward.
The roundtable moments are honestly the best. They are juicy and they are epic. And you want to have a bag of popcorn while you're watching them because on other shows I've done, we go in the diary rooms or we go on the fly and we talk shit. You know what I mean? Like even in Summer House, you do that stuff too, right?
Yeah, you're in the green screen. You're talking shit about your friend.
But like here, you have to like spill the beans on the table in front of everyone. So if you have news or if you have, gossip or whatever is going on, this is the time where everything is revealed. So these roundtable moments are jaw-dropping.
Yeah.
They're epic.
And how do you even connect with people when you're not sure who's a traitor, who's a faithful? Was it tough, or were you having to set that aside?
Oh, you don't. You go in. I go in for myself personally. I go in and I'm thinking, okay, it's a game. There's the game Rachel, and then there's like the human Rachel, the personal relationships that we'll build, where you get the like little tidbits and you get to know people and like how long someone's been married, or you want to know like about their family, and you get to know them on a relationship level, which also does you dirty because then you like them. Yeah. And then like you don't know what's going to happen because you're playing this game and there's a lot of money on the line. So it's definitely crazy.
I am very much a relationship-driven guy. Like, I love getting to know people. Like, New York City is a great place to make new friends all the time. And I've lived here since 2007. Yeah. So, like, my kind of knee-jerk reaction is I want to work the room. I want to get to know everybody. But in this setting, again, it's you kind of have to have your back up against the wall and be careful of what you say and kind of like the impression that you're making, because most people, I'm assuming, don't know me, right? They don't know that I'm a joking, charismatic, kind of like life of the party guy. So, some of my behavior might seem completely out of place in a show like this. So
you never know what to expect because you don't know if someone's like putting on a game or if it's like that's who really they are, or if you just don't know.
Yeah, there's 10 people that have never been on TV, so they could literally be anybody they want.
Yeah, they had it the easiest.
They could have a different profession, be from a different part of the country. They might not even use their real name.
Right.
I mean, they can like literally put on an act and no one's going to know.
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so intrigued by this show. I can't wait for everyone to tune in. For the last question before I let you guys go, I'm curious how you would describe your game in one word. Rachel?
One word? Okay.
Yes.
One word, messy.
Messy. All right. Kyle, what about you?
Friendly. I just have a hard time not being friendly.
That's a good word.
Two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
Well, I'm super looking forward to seeing you on the show, and I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with me today.